Omolara's heart sank. She quickly called Mrs. Ojo, her voice shaking. "Please come home. Something is wrong with Folake." In Lagos, the city that never sleeps, where fortunes are made and lost with the rising sun, Mr. and Mrs. Ojo stood as symbols of hard work and success. They were high-end traders, proprietors of multiple bustling business outlets scattered across the city's crowded streets and gleaming malls. Their reputation for honesty and diligence preceded them, and their life seemed enviable to all who knew them. Yet, beneath their success lay a private ache. For 5 years, they had yearned for a child to complete their family. Their prayers were fervent, their visits to doctors endless, and their faith unwavering. Then, like the first rain after a long drought, their prayers were answered. A daughter was born to them, and they named her Folake, meaning one who is cared for with wealth. From the moment Folake entered their lives, the Ojo household transformed. Her arrival brought a joy that eclipsed their material wealth. She was their sunshine, their laughter, and the center of their world. As soon as Folake was born, Mrs. Ojo made a decision that surprised many. She stepped away from her business to focus entirely on her new role as a mother. It was not an easy choice. She had built the business alongside her husband from the ground up, and stepping aside meant relinquishing control to others. But Mrs. Ojo was resolute. No amount of money can replace the early years of a child's life, she said to her husband. Mr. Ojo, ever supportive, assured her the business will survive. Let's give Folake the best. For 4 blissful years, Mrs. Ojo poured herself into raising Folake. She watched with pride as her daughter grew from a cooing infant to a lively toddler. Folake's laughter was a melody that filled their home, and every milestone, a first step, a first word, was celebrated with joy. But as Folake approached school age, Mrs. Ojo knew it was time to return to work. It wasn't an easy transition. When she resumed her business activities, she found that time away had taken a toll. Theft had crept in, employees were unmotivated, and some outlets had suffered losses. Determined to rebuild what she had lost, Mrs. Ojo threw herself back into work with the same vigor that had once built their empire. The Ojo household was a lively one, filled with relatives from both sides of the family. It was common in their culture for extended family members to live together, sharing meals, responsibilities, and joys. Uncles, aunties, cousins, and even distant relatives found a home under the Ojo roof. Among them was Wenga, a cheerful and dependable young man who had recently completed his O-level exams and was awaiting university admission. Wenga had grown up in the village but had come to Lagos to pursue his dreams. He was known for his jovial nature and willingness to help. Everyone in the household trusted him, and he quickly became a favorite. When Mrs. Ojo needed someone to pick Folake up from school, Wenga volunteered eagerly. "I'll do it, Auntie," he said with a broad smile. "I love spending time with Folake." From the very first day, Wenga excelled in his new role. He picked Folake up from school punctually, holding her hand as they walked to the car park. To make the journey more enjoyable, he often stopped to buy her a treat, a lollipop, a packet of chin-chin, or a small toy. Folake adored Wenga. She began looking forward to the school runs, her little face lightening up whenever she saw him. Wenga had a way of making her laugh, and his patience seemed endless. He played games with her, taught her songs, and even managed to get her to eat her meals without complaint, a feat that the nanny, Omolara, often struggled with. At home, everyone noticed how happy Folake was in Wenga's company. Wenga has a gift with children, Mrs. Ojo remarked to her husband. He is like a second parent to her. The Ojos were so impressed with Wenga's dedication that they promised to sponsor his university education. "You've been so good to us," Mr. Ojo said. "Consider your education taken care of." Over time, Folake grew more attached to Wenga. She began to prefer his company to even her parents. On weekends, when the Ojos were busy at the shop, Folake would spend the entire day with Wenga. They would play hide and seek, watch cartoons, and build castles with toy blocks. Omolara, Folake's nanny, didn't mind. Wenga's attentiveness gave her a break, allowing her to rest or catch up on her favorite shows. At least, she is happy, Omolara often thought, and Wenga is so good with her. What no one knew, however, was that Wenga's affection for Folake was not as innocent as it seemed. One Saturday afternoon, the Ojos left early for their shop. Omolara, as usual, decided to take a nap. The cook, Miss Gina, was in the kitchen preparing the Sunday meals. Wenga was left alone with Folake, who was delighted to have her uncle's undivided attention. Miss Gina walked past Wenga's room to fetch ingredients from the pantry. She heard a faint voice. It was Folake, her tone plaintive. "Uncle, it's painful, it's hurting me." Miss Gina paused, her hand on the door frame, her brow furrowed, but she quickly dismissed her concern. Wenga had always been so kind to Folake. Surely, he was just helping her with something. Later that afternoon, Wenga asked Omolara to fetch a fresh change of clothes for Folake. Omolara, still drowsy from her nap, complied without question. When she returned, Wenga handed her the little girl, now dressed in clean clothes, and left the house, saying he was going to join the others at the shop. Folake sat quietly in the living room, watching her favorite cartoon. She seemed calm, her small hands clutching a teddy bear. But when Omolara came to sit beside her, she noticed something alarming. The spot where Folake had been sitting was stained with blood. "Folake, are you okay?" Omolara asked, her voice trembling. "Did you hurt yourself?" Folake looked up at her with wide, innocent eyes. "Uncle Wenga said I'm a big girl now," she said. Omolara's heart sank. She quickly called Mrs. Ojo, her voice shaking as she described what she had seen. "Please come home," she pleaded. "Something is wrong with Folake." The Ojos rushed home and took Folake to the hospital for a doctor to examine her. But the truth that awaited them was far worse than anything they could have imagined. After examining the little girl, the doctor revealed that someone had taken advantage of her. Mrs. Ojo broke down, her wails echoing through the hospital corridor. "Who could do this to my baby?" she cried, clutching Folake tightly. When the police were called, all signs pointed to Wenga. The young man who had once been the family's pride and joy was now revealed as a predator. Wenga was arrested and prosecuted. His betrayal sent shockwaves through the household, leaving the Ojos devastated. Folake's innocence had been stolen and the family's trust shattered. Determined to protect their daughter's future, the Ojos sought therapy. and surrounded her with love and support. They also became advocates for child protection, using their story to raise awareness about the hidden dangers that can exist even within trusted circles. This tale serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance and the responsibility of adults to protect the innocent children around them. It teaches that even in the safety of one's home, caution and awareness are essential. This is the end of the story. Who do you think has the most blame in this situation? Is it the selfish nanny who neglected her duties towards the little girl? Or is it the wicked Wenga who betrayed the trust of her family? Or should we blame Mrs. Ojo, who stayed off work to attend to her baby when she was much younger and then hired a nanny to attend to her while she was away? Write your thoughts in the comment section. May I use this opportunity to appreciate all our subscribers. Your support is sure helping this channel grow, and we really appreciate you. And also, if you have not subscribed to our channel, could you do us the favor of hitting the subscribe button? It helps our channel to grow, and it will be our pleasure to know what part of the world you're watching from. Please tell us in the comment section. We can't wait to connect with you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up, and do not forget to share this video with family and friends. You may never know what child you're saving from this kind of situation. Thank you very much for complying. We appreciate your love and support. And from here in Zizy's African Tales, we love you as always. Remain blessed and prosper in all you do. But before we check out, do not forget to click on the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Love you. Bye-bye.